Did you guys know that I went to school not to be a teacher? We had that conversation. So I was in school I got into physical therapy grad school. That's what I went to undergrad for. I was a biopsychology major, and so I did not do anything with education. And then like a month before I graduated, I said, no, I'm not going to go to grad school. I'm going to be a teacher. And my parents were like, what the heck is wrong with you? So then I had to go back to school. Like after I graduated and I was 22, I had to go back and take classes with a bunch of freshmen. Because I had to go through that program. And I always got picked on from the teacher because I was the oldest. So anytime that we had conversations, she was always like, oh, Lindsay, what do you think? I was like, I just don't care at like 0% I care. I'm like legitimately you guys, where it's just like, this is stupid. I hate this. So some of the debates were like actual things that people should do. And she'd just throw random stuff out there. Like, why do you think this happened? Should we change the drinking age? What do you think about this? What do you think about this? And like there was this one girl who was just absolutely insane. And I remember once the teacher, like I was just standing there, so she'd make us stand on opposite sides. And then we'd have to have conversations with each other and like try and convince each other to switch sides. Okay? And so there was this one girl and she was just insane. So the teacher specifically called on me. I didn't offer my opinion. She said, what do you think? Because it was like, I'm the mature one. The old mature one. So it's me and a bunch of 18-year-olds. I was like, I guess if I had to choose, I'd pick this. So this other girl doesn't let me finish my sentence, starts screaming at me and was like, what kind of family did you come from? Do you guys have any morals? Like just absolutely starts. So I like listened to her. So she's like, all right, so the teacher's like, all right, I want you to explain your side. So I'm listening to her, like waiting for her to finish what she's saying. And then the teacher says, all right, Lindsay, what's your response to that? I can't even finish a sentence before she starts saying, oh, that's ridiculous. Everybody in the class is like, that's the fastest way I ever made a bunch of friends, right? When people are like, she was on the way out there, like, she was crazy. You handled that very well. Because I was like, okay. All right. Question? Yeah, like, no, I don't. She's probably like, do you even like have any morals? Where are your values? And I was like, okay. First of all, you're 12. Secondly, come at me, right? So here's why I'm telling you this at the beginning of class. This Pluto thing is not the most serious thing, but some of the classes genuinely have been going at each other as people. Like, well, I'm smarter than you, so you can't do anything. Like, my grade is higher than yours, so blah, blah. So we're going to have a debate, and we're going to try to do this in a healthy, like, I'm opening it up to other people. I have kicked 3 people out today.
Well, it looks like you need a 4th.
Completely, like, you can't scream at each other. Each side is going to have an opportunity to have conversations. This is not a big deal. We're just going to have a conversation about it.
It isn't a big deal because
how you handle something as meaningless as this says a lot about you. Okay? So we're going to split sides. This is going to be the dividing line. If you, in your paper, in your performance task, think that the evidence suggests that Pluto should be a dwarf planet, I want you to go to this side of the room. If you think that the evidence supports that it should be a planet, I want you to go to this side of the room. You can leave your stuff because we're going to come back.
Oh my God.
Okay. Some people might need to stand. That's okay. And it doesn't matter how many people are there. We're going planet. Nope, right. Your planet and then planet. All right? Your planet and planet.
Are these 4 on that side?
I believe they are on that side.
Got it.
There's 5 of them.
I don't know.
Yeah, okay, 5 against most of the class.
That's all right. You guys hold your ground. Hold your ground. All right, so here's what we're going to do.
Good luck.
We should argue.
All right, listen. Mr. Owens, you don't need that. Filling your head with knowledge. Okay, so here's how this is going to go. First, I'm going to ask each side to just state their case, right? So I'm going to type some of their evidence. The other side shouldn't argue that yet. So I'm going to say, all right, planets, what's your evidence? Your planets, what's your evidence? We're going to leave it at that. The other side's not going to talk.
Pull apart.
Right? Listen. Nope, you're going to have to remember it. 2. All right? Then I'm going to give one side a chance to say, just why don't you take this? Then I'm going to say, all right, you've seen both sides of evidence. I'm each side to discuss and try and refute the other side's evidence. And then I'm gonna give you a chance to have a dialogue with each other. Okay?
What
So
about
while it's the other side's turn, you are to be quiet. Okay? We're not gonna use the phrase, here are phrases that I've heard a lot of today. Because you're stupid. Some of those are accurate, but we're not gonna say that, okay? Because I said so. How could you be such an idiot? And did you even read anything? Okay?
Can we add a fifth one?
What is the fifth one?
Well, not kids not adding, they want to use it.
Okay. If it is demeaning directly to another person, okay, we're not gonna say it. And if you say it, you're gonna be kicked out of the, I don't have a gavel, otherwise I should. You'll just be kicked out.
I have a question then. Can I say,
Use the stapler.
can I say,
You cannot say anything that implies that the other people are stupid, okay?
Yeah,
Because this has nothing to do with
I'm not from
intelligence.
Iowa. I don't
So what's that?
Not either. Neither am I.
Durham.
Yeah, that's the whole point is a lot of Iowans argue stupidly, but they also have
Whoa.
I think you can change
It is
the
true.
word from Iowans to people.
You should see yourself.
Okay. Hey, if we live here now, we're all Iowans.
I didn't choose to come here.
Hey, I think the aliens abducted me. Here's how I am. All right, here's the deal.
I'm just saying, people
The
that.
four of you. No. All right. My planet, Pluto should be a planet, people. While you are few but mighty. Okay? Let's get it with 6th hour here. So let's count where we're at. Okay, 3rd hour, more people thought it was a planet than not.
What?
In 3rd hour, more people thought it was a planet than not. All right, so let's count.
Good game.
5. Way to go. Let's get on right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22.
Yeah, we broke the record.
Zoe's on our side too. The 23.
She may not be here physically. She doesn't count. All right, evidence for being a planet. And we're gonna let him talk. All right. What's your evidence? Size? Yeah.
Size doesn't matter.
Size doesn't matter. We're talking about Pluto, right?
Yes.
All right.
We are.
Oh, somebody earlier made a very good argument that had to do with a toy you were in order to ride a roller coaster, and I don't remember where they were going because I blacked out a little bit, but they felt very strongly about it. All right, what else? Size doesn't matter. What else?
Orbits the sun.
Orbits the sun.
Their location or just, yeah.
Location by.
It's wrong.
No. Okay.
No.
What about its location?
It's not good. Like if Earth was there, like it would be able to help your Earth.
Okay. That's not a word.
Wouldn't we all be dead then if Earth was placed on planet?
That's not the point.
What else?
It's a sphere.
It's a sphere.
Yay,
Yes,
3D
it's
object.
Carlos, you got anything for us?
It goes 2 of the 3 variables, and there's only 1 variable that has
It's 2 of the 3. Way to go. So he's most of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's multiple. Yeah, those can come back to that.
Anything else?
We come back to evidence later. Sweet.
Dwarf planet.
Oh my god, no.
Yeah.
Nope, I got that today.
Just give me your
thing.
Just shut up. Okay, here's the calculator.
Yes.
So orbit is actually.
It's 3 minutes.
Well,
So this doesn't necessarily have to do with the planet, it's more to what NASA gets to decide. Basically, NASA decides determines what's a planet, or like any the space organization, the scientists determine what's a planet.
Wait, is this
Okay.
helping our cause or the?
Yes, it's helping because if the scientists, if NASA,
Just reply.
based on the, is that what you're saying? Cool. So NASA decides the criteria, based on that criteria, it doesn't fit.
yeah,
Okay.
and also two of three. Say you had 2 of 3, like if we only had 2/3 of the sun.
If you get a 2 out of 3 on a quiz, what score do you get?
66.
Is that passing?
Yeah.
67? That's passing. Did you know that last year in foundations, this class, passing was at 50%?
What?
And we changed it.
What?
Yeah, so some of you in the 50s, sorry, this is the first year.
60%
Now we changed
is
it. Yeah,
failed.
so 50 was a passing.
50 is
And 65 was a C.
Why
It
did
was
you
a
change
sliding
it?
scale.
That's both.
crazy.
The orbit was like really elliptical and all the other planets are.
Tilted.
Doesn't it cross another planet's orbit?
Yes, sir. What else? Yep. What does that mean?
It's 120 that's Mercury.
I don't know if this is true, but isn't it not the main gravitational body in its orbit?
The orbit is very inconsistent because it goes from the Kuiper belt to the outside planet to the Kuiper belt and then around the sun. And that is not how planets are supposed to orbit.
So super different orbit.
Yeah,
A+.
There's a lot.
kind of.
I think we can just assume like there's a lot of problems with this orbit.
Yeah.
Okay? Yep.
More than I can count.
More than what? How much can you count?
Or
All right.
knows,
Anything else?
they might, 2 planets are gonna destroy each other one day.
Ooh.
Shots fired.
Yes. Right now. I don't even know how to do this.
You triggered a wow.
Alright, I want you guys to talk about some of their pieces of evidence and see if you can explain those. Like, hey, yeah, that's a piece of evidence, but here's why, I don't know, maybe there's some holes in it, or it's not very strong, or you can find a way to explain it. Okay? So just you 5. It's your show. Do you need a sidebar with each other?
Yeah. Sidebar.
Okay, why don't you sidebar and talk about how you're gonna dispute other people's claims? And then I'm gonna give you a 30-second recess.
Yeah. They're orbit for the sun points.
Yeah.
Talk about
I'm so sorry.
Well, one of these days,
That's
Neptune
irrelevant.
are probably are gonna hit each other.
Yeah, it is.
Your mission stuff.
Nobody
Matter.
You okay?
Could be a moon. Yeah, I'm just stronger than Yeah.
All right, let's come back together. Let's come back together. How can, if you think it's supposed to be a planet, how do you explain some of this stuff though? This is a lot of really good information.
I don't give a shit about the truth. We are truth.
You're up.
Oh, okay. I remember that they're saying that it's 1/20 the size of Mercury.
Sure.
But it's also the 88th percentile of the largest planet. There's 104 different objects. There are 400 and right, it's really big.
So it's really small compared to our smallest planet, but if you look at all the objects in the solar system, it's actually one of the bigger ones. Okay. What else?
Who's texting in class?
Technically, they're not. Somebody texted them.
Parents, they shouldn't have to do our
Good point.
All right. Yes.
Literally has orders.
Do all the planets have moons? Mm-mm.
No.
Do other dwarf planets have moons? I think.
There's 5 dwarf
Who knows?
planets that we have.
What about this sun?
No, they
So do
don't
you
have
guys
moons.
have ways to explain this? Can you explain some of their stuff? About the size, it orbits the sun, its location, that's a good point. It meets 2 of the 3 criteria. How do you counter this?
Okay, I'm gonna target the subsource.
Okay,
Okay, some of our planets, I mean actual planets, and our solar system aren't even made out of any kind of rock whatsoever. So that's useless.
okay.
shots fired.
Oh, this is a school, we don't do that here.
Well, they already said twice.
Yeah, go ahead.
Or our planets are made of gas. and our inner planets are made of rock.
So if it's rocky, shouldn't it be on the inside?
So, yes, our planet is made out of gas, so why is Pluto made out of rock and not gas?
Pluto is made of rock and gas.
Well, we do have an explanation on why the inner planets were like that and the outer planets. Remember we talked about that solar wind that pushed all that light stuff out there? Is there another explanation, maybe that we didn't read in that article, that says, and some other stuff got really far out there too, and created planets? I don't know. I'm just throwing things out there to try and make you guys fight to the death. So, all right, what else? What other of this stuff?
I feel like if Earth were in its location, then Earth would be a planet.
Yeah, that's true.
So you're saying it's not Pluto's fault, but it's still not a planet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yep.
Good
Like,
game.
sorry, bro, that's just how it works. You're just
Yeah.
there,
GG, bro.
right? Okay.
Good game.
So here's the theme of what I've heard sometimes today. You guys are probably saying 2 out of 3 isn't enough. It needs to meet 3 out of 3. According to the rules, it doesn't meet them. It's not a planet. A lot of what these people are saying is that third rule is bogus. There's holes in it. Okay? The criteria sucks. So if we get rid of the crappy criteria, it should probably be a planet because it's really similar to some of this other stuff that the other planets are. Okay? So here's one question. Does it matter what it's called? Does it change anything about Pluto if we call it something else? No. Whether it's a planet or no planet?
No.
What does it do?
It just creates arguments. It
It
creates
helps us
arguments.
classify stuff, and we like to classify things. Right? That's how we do stuff. We just classify stuff. Okay? Are we trying? Not we personally. Do you hear any fuss about some of the other dwarf planets not being called planets? No. Like, Ceres is close. Ceres is in between the inner planets and the asteroid belt. So if we looked at that, it's rocky, it's smaller, it orbits the sun, it's got all this stuff. It meets probably 2 of the 3 criteria, which is why it's called a dwarf planet. Nobody's freaking out that this, because of its location, it should maybe get pulled into that inner planet one, because it's really close. It sort of makes sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, there's another rocky one, and then we go to the outer planets. Do you hear anybody talking about, well, Ceres isn't one, so that's unfair? No, probably not. Okay? How could we somehow meet in the middle? Alright, does anybody want to switch sides? You guys want to switch sides at all?
Guys, come over here.
Somebody tried to bribe somebody earlier. I'll give you $1 if you come over here. And I was like, shoot, I'll join your side. Try to give me that. So I stole the $1. They don't know it. Haha, I didn't.
Steve, we're in.
Game.
I would totally steal it. Yeah, I do it all the time. Yeah. Like, hey, you guys just go outside and then I run it. Your backpack and steal your Oh, I borrow money. Oh, that's an initiative go. Hey, what can we do in between? Because this side is saying it doesn't meet the criteria. Do you guys think that that third criteria is as good as it could possibly be? Should we add something about orbits? Because that, every single class has said it has a weird tilted orbit and it crosses Neptune. That means that it shouldn't be a planet. Technically, that's not a criteria, but do you think that that should be, that should be one?
Well, let's.
Should we keep the one about it being the dominant gravitational thing, or do you think that it should be based on size alone? Because I think it comes back to size, and it has to do with the star. Do you think that they should add one about it needs to be this large?
No, because
No, just the orbit one.
Yeah.
Okay,
I would say
they could. If they're,
Isn't Pluto in Neptune's orbit then? So like, isn't there
true. And we're gonna do a simulation that we could maybe make that happen. President.
You have like a
Do you mean like dwarf planets?
Okay, so like, on one end of the spectrum, we have like planets like the size of Jupiter. Others, we have things
Planets smaller than moons.
Could we do something kind of in the middle?
Yes. Somebody had an interesting fact earlier that they said when the scientists all met and they voted like, hey, let's pick the criteria for a planet. Not everybody who was eligible to vote voted. So the number of people that made the decision think, hey, there's the representation of like, hey, 60% of us think that it should be considered a dwarf planet. That's not real because they didn't ask everybody, right? So what they want to do is say, hey, let's make sure everybody's involved and let's re-vote it. If it stays that same way, then that's fine. I just think they need to make up their dang minds.
agreed.
Okay? So the thing though was, it's cool if you think that, as long as you said, here's why I think that, and you explain it. It's cool if you guys said, hey, it should be a dwarf planet, as long as in your reasoning you say, here are the reasons why. It doesn't matter, right? That's something where there's not a wrong answer if you explain it well, okay? Let's go back to our original seats. I'm gonna show you the worst draft in the world, and we're gonna do one more thing before the end of the day.
Cringe warning.
That I saw.
Of the what?
Oh,
Oh, I wish.
wait, disregard. Is Pluto a planet in all of the countries?
It's like an international.
You got your resource sheet?
Well, I think it's the IAU. I think it's an international.
Not the sheet.
It's like the UN.
It's not what you want.
Alright, so, I don't know when I found this, and I don't know how, but I've probably watched it 9 times, and I laugh every time. It's pretty bad. It's also the dopest thing I've seen all day.
You can't.
And trust me, I've seen some dope videos today. I watched a video of the sloth pooping.
Why?
Wow, hilarious.
Oh my god.
Oh.
They hug the base of a tree, they stick their butts out, and they smile. And then it takes them a while.
You are banned from using the word dope.
Dope. So I just want you to be mentally and physically and emotionally prepared for this, okay? And if you want to say like, Ms. Bernard, thank you, this is the best thing I've ever seen in my life, I'll take it. Okay, I'll take it.
Mhm.
Jason, you wanna turn the light off for me?
Oh.
Sure.
Yeah, I think it's dark.
It's called Dwarf Planet, what's up?
Oh god.
More like, heck yeah, let's get this ball rolling, Miss Bernard. Okay?
How about
Yay!
now?
I'm gonna call, I don't know his name, but I've been calling him Baby DJ Khaled.
I think that's the best thing you said all day.
Next to Doe.
No, you're joking.
Alright.
Welcome to science class. I'm Tom McBeth. That's one of my favorite scientists we rap about.
That's Tom.
The question that's been on all of our minds is going on.
Nobody cares, Tom.
As usual.
Yeah, who cares?
You're a cool fan, but I'm sorry, y'all. Since the 30s, Pluto's been an oddball. It's sorted out. Where you want to go? Kinda took too much time, be critical. Until Neptune is gonna get tossed to staring at Sharon. Pretty big for a moon.
Well, I think it's great. White, going around the sun.
Nobody knows.
The other day. Beautiful, I'm gonna get back. It's
Yeah, that I-
big, it's
we're not
out, it's not
It's probably gonna rock your world.
It's big, it's down, you know I want to
You
see
know, I think you would still
All an interesting theory. You ever heard of this honey cloud series? Thought we had a new kind of 1801, found more and more stuff, but it was no fun for the kids to memorize all the planets in the sky. We could never end this going up sky high. But too many planets, people got annoying. So now we just call them asteroids.
Series, whatever, what's it quite meant to be?
Pluto is a series of the 21st century.
I'm not buying it, man, I'm not budging. Pluto is planet, I know it, cause I love it.
Planet non pseudo, you already know. Dwarf planet now, hit the brig to Pluto, and it's very far away, far away, far away. It's tiny, it's icy, and it's always kind of crazy. But it's rule number 3 that it just doesn't obey. A bunch of copper stuff is in its way. Dwarf planet, what's up? Who knew? It's cause it was a typhoon. New objects found past Neptune. Pluto was still a big daddy until they found Eris, just a little more fatty.
Mid-graders!
Cause I was just expanding. Future planet list up higher and higher.
When I think that then I'm buying
The Big About series, same sort of story. Pluto's one of the main dwarf planets.
sorry, but I don't have it, I'm having it, right?
Nope, cause then I felt like Piper. It's just way too crowded. Silly kid rocks floating all around it.
Man, sometimes I hate science.
We got 4 terrestrials and 4 gas giants and 2 belts, asteroid and Kuiper, y'all. So it's not a planet, but it's not an oddball. And the universe is an incredible place.
Being very evil man, just sure not snake.
The planet not pseudo, you already know. Dwarf planet now, hate to break it to you.
Why?
Far away, far away, far away. The sun is icy and it's always kind of crazy. But it's moving like a flea that it just doesn't obey. A bunch of copper stuff is in its way. Dwarf planet was like.
Depending on Pluto, you already know. Don't put it out, but it's still kind of cool. I was very far away, far away, far away. Though it's tiny, it's at the end of summer, kind of great. But anymore about the universe, every single day. We'll keep on running forward, all of them great. Don't find it, what's up? I told you so.
Incredible arguments made here today. Luckily, the New Horizons satellite is on its way to take photos of Pluto for the first time. Stay tuned until 2015. Signing
Already
out.
happened.
You're welcome.
Good game.
You're welcome for showing you that.
That was amazing.
No, it was not, no.
Pretty great. All right, let's go back on.
Why should Jake memes?
But like legitimately, those little kids did a really good job with that.
Yeah.
I could do that. I could do it. Alright, here's what I want you to do. Get your comments
I
out.
hate you'll get.
Put your comments out.
What are we doing?
Mine's dead.
Get your Chromebooks out. But then I want a charger.
Chromebook,
Somewhere. We're gonna play some dope video games.
Yay!
Oh my
Not really video games. Alright,
Flash game?
here's what these two are. Okay, next week we're gonna do some simulations. There's a ton of gravity and orbit simulations. We'll do a couple of them. It'll take a couple days.
I went to go to the
I
table.
think we're gonna take some of the stuff that we wanted to
Work on
and
the
chop it in
table.
half and
Push
make
it back.
it easier and shorter.
Thank you.
Okay? So today,
Good luck.
I'm not even gonna assign any questions with this. Like, I just want you to play on these guys. Okay? There's two of them. here's the point, okay? We're gonna start our second understanding. The second understanding is talking about, hey, certain things, like we can figure out how things are gonna orbit. We can figure out the speed of their orbit, the shape of their orbit, how long it's gonna be based on certain things. Based on how far away it is, based on the mass, based on the distance, based on some other stuff. Okay, there's some simulations that show that. So, if you go to our homepage on Canvas, these two things are linked. This first one is the easy one. Okay, and you just you can put two suns, they'll start to go around each other, put this stuff up, death, and asteroid belt. And they're dead. Right, I can reset. I can try and recreate a normal solar system. I'm just putting all this stuff out here, throwing an asteroid belt, throwing an asteroid, whatever. And then it's going to do something, okay? That's the easy one. The hard one, or the more complicated one, is the National Geographic one. Ooh, just all right, you can pick. You can pick different sizes. So this is a dwarf, main sequence star, red giant, super giant, whatever. I can change the mass of it. I can add a planet. No. Let's go. What do you want to add? Liquid planet? Gas planet? Rocky water planet. What's that similar to? Oh, Earth. I say, all right, I want it to go maybe that way. Maybe I'll add another one. Sure. No. Too close. No. Now watch what happens if I don't do this very well. Right? I play it, and oh no, 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 and death. So this says you destroyed this planet, and all the people on it are. Oh, I destroyed it both. What is this? Look at this. What is this doing? It's orbiting. What is this? Where's this coming from? I can speed this up. Some of them, if you get it to orbit, life starts to form on the planet. If you can get it to orbit before the planet dies. You're trying to mess with, I want you to understand, how do I influence orbits? Today, I just want you to play around with them and notice some stuff. Okay? If you can get multiple ones to orbit, that's great. The other thing I want you to think about is, let's see, where is it? Right? What does it mean to, can you make something, can you create something in the solar system that clears the neighborhood? And how would you notice that? That's probably on the side games one. So you're going to mess around with those. I'm going to play just some music in the background because silence makes me uncomfortable. We'll just mess around with those two. I just want to do that for the last 10 or so minutes of class. If you can get multiple ones to orbit on the National Geographic, will you just tell me? I just want to see what your settings are because I'm really bad at it.
So how do you do this?
You're determining where the orbits are. I have two suns. Oh yeah. So cool.
Oh, the suns are fighting each other. Suns are fighting each other.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, I got it.
Yay, I just destroyed 2 planets.
That's the opposite of what we want.
No, I want to be like Galactus and eat them all up. I'm the little sun. I'm Galactus. I'm trying to get all of the innocent people on those harmless planets.
And look at this. The mass. Yeah. And it's distance away. So that person that if you know where it's right in a small way, it probably no.
Oh God.
That's Bernard.
You're sitting. How could you be? Ooh, green planet. Ooh, yeah.
Yep. I don't keep them. Reset. I'm not going on resetting your phone. Yeah, if you go to the
homepage, and then go down. You can link those two.
Boom, 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 boom. Darn it.
It won't let you unless you have or the whichever one is attached to it. Yeah. That's why it's hard to parents because unless they get on the kids.
Oh, I can make it blue. Yeah, I'm just showing more planets. Yeah, we're green sun.
What is this little like line?
Wow, it's going. It's going.
It's like Planet Pac-Man. Anybody besides?
Liquid.
You can change what kind of planet it is.
So I would do that just a little, so we can really impact the distance.
Let's just go on.
That shows the way that it's gonna start.
Might just be
Like right this way, it's gonna move in that
So
way.
I have
It's gonna move like out there.
I think if it's this way.
How do you? Where they got planes to orbit?
Oh, that's
Okay, now run simulation. Are you kidding me? How is that all bringing them in like that?
Oh, gravitational.
I know.
It's all, the sun's literally pulling them all in. Okay, let's see. I still have one planet left in its orbit. Because I have like no mass way down.
Oh, thanks.
This means it's gonna go down. So why don't you
I get very close to it.
just see what happens? Yeah, just see what
No,
happens.
it's gonna yours up.
Thing is like.
Oh, right there. How long does this go on for?
Forever.
Okay,
now
bad.
2,000 years old.
Down this mass.
Oh, I can move them. Okay, that makes sense. No wonder they keep dying.
Basically, wait.
We're gonna try and see if we can do more plants.
I know. How are they alive? How do you add more people?
So do that.
And then
Go there. And you can change the kind of plants that you want.
Wait, if I add a plate, I'm like,
no, because it'll stay on the same path unless you change that. So when you add a planet, you change the launch. It'll say.
Okay. Run that. Are you kidding me?
No.
They literally are all pulled towards me. That one's orbiting though and went off Lord knows where.
Well, yeah, maybe it's just super far away. We zoom out to it.
6.
You can also change the view. So some of you guys are, the camera view is your star. If you change it to a planet, it'll follow the planet instead of staying with the star.
I just blew it all my nose.
I think, I don't know. Yep. And then, like, so this one.
Okay, reset. Blue.
Oh, but,
This one.
oh my gosh, I got it to those out.
Blue.
Oh, it's already not gonna do.
so do a duet.
Blue.
One's almost 58.
Blue.
So that's the thing.
It's a dwarf.
Let's
see.
That's what it's telling you, like, yeah, and this one is a little bit.
I can't see.
You see how they like, basically,
Which doesn't obviously really.
How, why does one keep like moving out of the picture?
It's for our.
Well, let's see.
But this one might die right now.
I'm gonna bring that down.
Hey, do any of you have one that orbits super close? Who had that? You did? Do you still?
Yeah,
I've had many of them where I find that no matter how I change the mass and stuff, all are drawn into each other except one, which just flies off in the middle of nowhere.
I don't know.
Move them away from the star.
I think the killer is
So it must be just that other one changed it. That makes sense. Okay.
oh no. Kill the planet.
You guys have killed a lot of planets.
Yeah.
No, they just
Okay, play simulation. Whoa. Okay, what?
It's orbiting, but it's not.
Speed up.
So some of them keep that.
There's nothing else messing with that.
Look at this.
Where are they going?
Why? Because I put it in order.
Well, let's see. Well, I've only destroyed one planet. I placed many of them. And I started accelerating the time. There's going to be another planet that's going to come around. Oh, there it is. It just went around again. That was close, though. That was close.
Just change the chromosphere of it?
I just changed color.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
I started, and I placed them, and many of those went off. But there's a small planet that's going around. It takes a minute. You'll see it here.
Can I go back to
there? Right there.
In 3 minutes.
That kind of went kind of close. I don't know what happened to the others. Hang on.
I think this planet. What are they doing?
I think it clears what happened.
I don't think I feel like
There we go.
Miss Bernard.
you got it. All stand by the door.
All right, play.
All right, so listen up. Sit. How many of you guys originally your planets, especially on that National Geographic one, sort of just like crashed into the sun right away?
Yeah.
And then how many of you were able to sort of, as you played with it, figure out, well, if I do it this way, I think I can get them to orbit a couple times. What we're gonna get into next week is, what did you do? Like, what did you do to make those orbit? We're gonna talk about things that you were changing. Some of you changed where they were and how fast they were going. Listen, if you did not turn in your performance test, at least turn in what you have done. Right now you have a 0 on